Y'all know the drill. Where you from? Where you at? What are you doing? Gonna recap this weekend's action. Normally I do a weekend recap, but I was a bit preoccupied this weekend, a bit tied up, so I decided we should just do it live. I should just do it live with all of you out there. Shout out to Brown Gone One. What you doing, y'all? All right, what's goody thrash attack? Aye! You know what I'm saying? All the way in Russia. Is that Russia? Fistiana, what it do, what it do, what it do? Counterpunch boxing news, Kurt DeVille. The trio, Kurt DeVille, John Morgan, JD Boxing, Presto Uno. Easton was good. James Jackson, Presto Nuno. Aye. Dubai is in the building. Aye. UK is in the building. Aye. Butcher's Bucket is in the building. Aye. Dennis Flaherty was good, yo. And we're going to get right into it. I'm going to post the link. I want to get you guys' thoughts on Shakur Stevenson versus Jamal Herring. I want to give a special shout out to Ronnie Boy Fresh, Newton's finest, who called the fight the best. I myself was leaning towards Shakur Stevenson. We talked about it here on the channel about 6 days ago on the morning boxing talk. Talked about how, speed would be a determining factor and whether or not you guys out there believed that Jamal would be able to time Shakur Stevenson's speed, because when it came to the fight and edging it, Jamal has been in there with better fighters than Shakur had been comparatively, but still, Shakur Stevenson, he did have the edge in speed, and speed would be a determining factor in this fight. I think we can all agree that that's how the fight played out. Speed had a lot to do with the aesthetic of the match. I'm going to go to Eson all the way in Nebraska. Eson, talk to me about the fight. What did you feel about the fight? Was it what you thought it would be?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I thought Jamel could do a little bit better, but I didn't expect much. But I was impressed at the end of the night, though. Shakur, he did what he was supposed to do. I was actually impressed.
All right. I'm
Good
gonna go.
performance.
All right, I'm gonna go to my email. Okay, my email. What'd you think of the fight? Was it what you thought it would be?
No, I thought Shakur did well. I thought in terms of his ring generalship, he was keeping everything from the left arm up. Every time Herring tried to throw the right hand, Shakur saw that coming. I thought it was an 8-0, 8-0, 9-0 destruction. He didn't do shit. He didn't do shit. Listen, that man didn't do shit in that fight, Shakur. But did he need to? But did he need to do shit?
I want to go to Eson, then I'm gonna pass it back to you. My email. I saw a lot of different. Reactions to the fight. I think Andre Ward had a clean sweep in favor of Shakur Stevenson. He had it. He didn't have Jamal winning a round. How did you have that fight? Did you have it that way, Eson?
My bad. Say it one more time.
How did you have the fight scored at the time that the fight was stopped?
It got stopped in round 10, no?
Yeah, 10 rounds. 10 rounds.
I had it 9-1 or 8-2 at max. I'm thinking 9-1 though.
Yeah, that's how I had it. I mean,
facts.
The only round I could have gave Jamal in that fight was probably the 5th. There was a swing round back there, but a swing round means what it means. That means you could have swung at the Jamal, but you could have swung at the Shakur, and there was really only one round that I felt that, Mel won that round decisively. Looked like a Mel Herring round. That was the 5th round. Beyond that, it just looked like Shakur Stevenson had it all his way. Though moving forward, I anticipate problems. I anticipate issues because that's a performance to where you're too good for your own good. There's already rumors and rumblings that Oscar Valdez is not going to fight the winner of that fight. He's going to fight Emmanuel Navarrete. And it's because if you think about 126, if you think about the featherweight division, Emmanuel is not going to get the fights that he needs. He's not going to get the unify because Leo has the WBA, Gary has the WBC, Kid Galahad has the IBF. I think out of all the unification matches in that division, that's probably the one that's most possible, though not necessarily likely. Yeah.
It might be better for Valdez if he fights Navarrete too, because he's got a better shot with him than Shakur.
No, that's not right, bro. I think Valdez needs to fight Galahad. Galahad is the fight, bro. Galahad is weak.
No, yeah, it is. But I'm saying for Valdez's sake.
Yeah, listen, bro. Listen. Galahad is for the taking. He's a vacant champ. This man ain't got no shit. He ain't got no shit, bro. Let me put my face on the camera. Listen, Galahad ain't got nothing to do with shit. That man's gonna get wasted. Anyone who turns up against Galahad in a fight is gonna get fucking rinsed. That man's a fucking vacant fucking champ. He's not a clear out fucking G down, come out the fucking sparks fucking geezer, is he? So Galahad ain't shit, bro. He's a vacant champ.
I'm gonna say this. Let me say this. After Emmanuel Navarrete's last fight with Joe Gonzalez, his promoter in Mexico, Fernando Beltran of Zampa Promotions, he said, we want Valdez. So I don't see, and I'm not gonna talk that ducking shit because sometimes fights just don't happen because motherfuckers ain't looking for them. I'm not gonna accuse nobody of ducking nobody, but they made it clear what they want to do now. They want to go up. They want Valdez. And
but what a set. They need to stop getting out of this Mexican American sort of illusion of being morons. A vacant fucking belt is up with Kid Galahad. Why not take minor fucking take? That guy is shit. That guy's fucking shit. Galahad, he will get fucking rinsed against any Mexican. You know that, Ring IQ.
Yeah, but I think hold on, dog. Hold on, because you're talking over everybody, so calm down.
Now, sorry.
The problem is that if you try to do Galahad versus Navarrete, right, it's gonna become, and to me, it's not about the fighters. To me, it's about Bob and it's about Eddie. He just said Galahad, but it is though. Eddie's gonna.
You can see where I'm coming from.
Eddie's gonna want it on the zone. Bob is gonna want it on ESPN. Bob is not gonna offer the kind of offer to get Kid Galahad to fly over to America and do the fight here. Now, Eddie, I'm pretty sure Eddie is willing to pay Emmanuel Navarrete the way he wants to get paid, but I'm not sure that that's what his people want for him. Does Fernando Beltran, does Bob Arum want Emmanuel Navarrete to go to the zone and be content for them?
I don't think they will. I don't think
they will. Ramirez did it with Ramirez.
Yeah, but how many times? I mean, look,
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will because he made it clear right after the fight. They want to move up. They want Valdez. I'm going to go to Leo. Leo, you saw yesterday's fight. Was it what you thought it would be?
Not at all.
Nah, it was shit, bro.
No.
All right. Describe first walk us through it. What were you expecting and what did you make of what you got?
I expected Shakur Stevenson more...
I knew exactly.
I'm more conservative.
Sorry, Leo.
All right, go ahead, Leo.
Sorry.
Okay. I expected more conservative Shakur Stevenson, more in the tip of the soaps, moving around, accumulating shots, excuse me, points. I expected a decision for Shakur Stevenson. I never expect Shakur Stevenson going forward, trying to punish him. Jamal Charlo. I didn't see the best punch, but I see precision. I saw aggressiveness. I saw Shakur Stevenson willing to stay in range of shots to get his shots and evade Jamal Charlo blocking. That I think it's his first performances to this date.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go to Mark. Mark on the ones and twos. Mark, what did you think ahead of the fight? What were you waiting for? What were you expecting? And did Shakur Stevenson live up to your expectations?
There you go.
What was I expect? I expected a very dull affair. I didn't expect it to be as entertaining or as enthralling, at least in terms of activity from Shakur. I thought he was going to nick the fight 8-4, 9-3 kind of deal. Didn't expect a stoppage. So did he live up to my expectations? No, he exceeded them in bounds, to be perfectly honest.
Did you bet on the fight? Did you bet on the fight, Mark? Did you have a bet on it?
I did have a bet on this. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Did
now
you bet on the fight?
all right, now my email. You got to calm down, bro. You got to chill out because you're talking over everybody. You
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
over Eson. You talked over Leo. You're talking over Mark. You're
Sorry,
talking
bro.
over me.
Sorry,
You
bro.
do. I'm just telling you. If you do it again, I'm gonna take you out. All right. Now, Mark,
Okay.
I'm gonna start backwards. I'm gonna start in reverse. Ahead of this fight, a lot of people felt that Shakur Stevenson has no power. How do you feel about that now? Do you think that he's coming into his man strength? What do you make of it?
Well, he was sitting on his shots more. Normally, he's throwing shots as he moves. Last night, he was like, he would stand in spots, let the left hand go, follow through on it. So it had more effect. I'm wondering if that's him having power, more man strength, or if Jamal's been making the weight for too long. I need to see it again. If he does it again with somebody who's been around the weight a little bit longer, then I'll know. But as it stands right now, it looks like he has a bit more power. It looked that way, but he is sitting on his shots more, which he doesn't.
Leo, same question. What do you make of Shakur Stevenson's power or the lack thereof? Does he look stronger now than he's ever been? Are you sold? Are you not sold? Why?
I don't think he looks stronger. I think, as Mark says, is committing more to his shots, but in terms of raw power, I think it's pretty much the same. Now, in this fight in particular, the Jermel couldn't be effectively defensive enough to diminish the damage and go to distance. That is why Shakur's got the stoppage, not because Shakur Stevenson's power.
I agree with that. The stoppage, before I pass it to my email, I'll say it didn't look like, the stoppage, it felt like I understood it. I understood the stoppage, but at the same time, it felt premature. My email, how does Shakur Stevenson's power look to you now?
Listen, I'm just a casual in the boxing game. I watched Shakur's fight. I think I watched the Gonzalez fight. I watched the Christopher Diaz fight where he got some decisions against them. Listen, I'm no expert on boxing, but I do love it. And to be honest with you, my take on Shakur Stevenson, I lost a lot of money on that. I put 50 quid to get me £1,000. Jamal Herring 1-6 KO. I lost a lot of money on that. Obviously, I put money on Herring to knock him to knock Shakur out. I've watched the Herring fight back. What do I think at the moment? I just think it's pretty much the same as it was before. I don't think there's anything from Shakur which we've seen now, which was anything from before. And I'm not an expert. I'm just a casual. But I will tell you one thing. I think Shakur will go a long way. I've been listening to people like Mark Unrivaled and all these guys on the internet. You all know what I'm about, but I love boxing, and I always stick to boxing. Shakur will go a long way. He's a 2-weight champ now. He's got the second WBO strap, and he will go up to another level, and he'll probably get another strap. Is it going to be a Polymanami? Is it going to be some sort of guy's going to flop out like some moron? You're going to have to ask Mark about that. But I personally think that Shakur's an excellent fighter.
Thank you for that, my email. Isan, what do you make of Shakur Stevenson's power or the lack thereof? Has he sold you that he can crack, or is it just that Jamal's been making that weight for too long and it's sapped his punch resistance?
I mean, no, I don't think it's either really. Like, if you notice, Jamal wasn't really being rocked by shots or like, really wobbled and shit. It was more of like an accumulation thing. I mean, I guess I'd say Shakur, like Mark said, he sat on his punches more, which is good to see. But I wouldn't necessarily say he has like great power. Maybe I don't even know if I really say respectable, because there were times when Jamal actually decided to push the action, he was walking through Stevenson's shots. It was more of that he just didn't know what to do to get, on the inside is more of what it was. It wasn't necessarily that the shots were in him. It's more that he just didn't know what to do to get past them. And when he did get past them, he was still getting caught. You see, he didn't really wobble like that. So, like, if he faced a guy like Valdez, I think Valdez won't be worried about his power. It's more of just, how am I going to get by these fast shots at this far distance?
I tend to agree with that because I felt well, first, let me go to Mark. Did I ask Mark about the stoppage? Mark, what did you think about that referee stoppage? Did it seem premature, or was the ref in the right to do that?
I think he was in the right to do it. Two swollen eyes, they were both cut. Herring clearly lost 9 or 10 rounds at that point. Like, he had no chance of winning other than a punch. He wasn't really letting his hands go. He's getting beat up on throughout the fight. I mean, I'm fine with it, but somebody says it's a little bit of an easy going stoppage, it's fine. I think Herring could have made the distance, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's where people are coming from with the premature stoppage. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm kind of upset I wasn't stopped 5 rounds earlier. That fight was on way too damn late. So I was too tired to keep watching another 2 rounds.
I'm more mad about the wait time than the actual stoppage for.
Yeah,
let's look, everybody. Look, we all know why we're here. Let's talk legacy. Let's talk Nico Ali Walsh.
I'm out.
Yo, I was going to say the same thing. I'm going. I'm so tired of hearing about that guy, man. And it's sad because he don't need all that pressure, man.
It ain't even the pressure. It's like I'm looking.
Did you know that he's Muhammad Ali's grandson?
I had no idea, Mark, until you just told me.
Do you know how I knew?
How'd you know?
Because I got told on Twitter by somebody, I don't remember who, and then they got told by somebody.
But wait, Isan, before I pass it to you, I gotta ask, what is Top Rank really doing here? What is ESPN really? Because he don't got an amateur background, right? He not like he don't come from the amateur system. He want to box. But I was looking at the shit yesterday, and look, the kid it sound like he could punch. Like if he has something, he could punch. But it felt like karaoke night, and they're playing Ali's greatest hits. You kind of get me? That he's bouncing, he's doing the shuffle, and it's like, why you doing that? Like
he has no identity.
That's kind of what I was, and I don't want to, I don't want to come at him hard, but I'm really wondering what's the end game here. Like what you guys are trying to get him to a title. Isan, what do you think?
Shit, it's like I don't really even. I mean, damn, I don't even know what they're really trying to do, because it's like, to me, he just looks like a kid that's like, I don't want to say he's just living off of Ali's name. I mean, if he wants to box, I understand that. But I feel like if you really were, you really wanted to go somewhere in boxing, yeah, you should have somewhat of a decent amateur background. Like you say, he doesn't have any. He's kind of just getting put on these cards because of his name, honestly.
He got put on a prime slot, Mark. What do they want with this guy? Like what? Like, is this just a complete novel? Because I don't want to do that. I feel like that's disrespectful. But I kind of get the sense that
they're making it like that, though.
They are, though, and it's because of them. It's not even because of him. He's putting his time in the gym. He's doing what he got to do. He got Sugar Hill training him and all of that. But it just feel like a novelty act almost. Mark, what do you make of this shit?
Yeah, can I add a bit in? I think it's just like Ricky Hatton bit. It's just like his son, just boosting him up. Probably just because he got the name. That's his son, Ricky Hatton's son, and that's his, Muhammad Ali's grandson or whoever.
Wait. Mark, I need you to sing because I got a pizza here I got to get. So sing for the crowd, champ the shit for me, okay?
Well, yeah, sure. I'll jump. I ain't gonna sing though. But yeah. So at the moment, I'll just give my thoughts real quick. What are they trying to do? It's a cheap dollar, right? They're spending 20 cents per dollar they're getting in return. They're able to use the name association with the greatest, Muhammad Ali himself, and that's all it is. They're not looking for him to be a world champion. Why would they be trying to do that with a dude who fights the way he does? He ain't gonna improve that much.
He doesn't really have any style. He kind of just bounces around, throwing punches without his feet even positioned.
He doesn't even know how to get in and out of range correctly. Let's just call a spade a spade.
Probably just the beginning, isn't it? Yeah, we know he has a name. Maybe they never know. Don't doubt anyone. Maybe he might get somewhere.
Yeah, but when you place these like fucking not even prospects yet on these prime cards, you're kind of subjecting them to criticism like this. Like, we shouldn't be talking about this guy right now. It's his second damn pro fight. It's not like
we should be.
Came from two gold medals. Oh, because he's Ali's grandson.
No, because he floats like a butterfly, sting like a bee. His hands can't hit, but the eyes can't see.
He fucking gets hit, and looks like he got stung by a bunch of bees, man. That dude was touching him the other day.
Look, it's easy enough to kind of explain. It's a cheap dollar. That's all he is. It's a cheap dollar. Yeah, now I can't see who else is on the panel.
In this day and age, like I think in this day and age, you never know. Like there's so many bullshit that's going on with all these what's it called? I forgot these
YouTubers.
YouTubers, and I think Hayfield and Evander Holyfield and like these lot. You know what I mean? There's some Mike Tyson coming back. It's just, if they can do it, then why not a prospect who's coming up? You know what I mean?
It sucks. He seems like a good kid. You know what I mean? He ain't doing nothing wrong. He's in the gym doing his thing. It's just like they're kind of making like all
we can't hear you, Julius.
It makes sense what Sawab said. I never thought of it that way. That from where Nico is sitting, you got Jake Paul boxing. You got the ghost of Riddick Bowe trying to box. You know what I'm saying? Vander Holyfield tripping over his feet. Boxing has become enough of a circus that maybe the kid tells himself, well, hey, if they could do it, it's in my blood. I am an Ali.
His son was fighting as well. He fought. He had a good fight. I saw some highlights of it.
I mean, it sounds like he has power. It sounds like he has power, though. Like, if he has anything, he has power. Mark, what did you think of the right hand?
It's okay. That power, I hear sound all the time. To me, that's just an average right hand. At a certain level, it'll work. But when you get to a top 50, 60 vicinity, they're just gonna take that on the guard and check you.
So I'm gonna ask you to be ballsy, Mark, and I'm gonna ask you, how does it end for Nico Ali Walsh?
The second he fights against a top 40 opponent, he loses.
Does he ever fight a top 40 opponent, or does he Mike leadership? Does he Mike leadership? Because remember, Mike Lee, he had like fights in the double digits, and you're like, yo, who the fuck was he fighting that he has this many fights?
Maybe he fights Mike Lee.
He's a middleweight. Who sound is doing that?
Whoa. That was so wob, I think.
I apologize.
Well, who do you think has a higher ceiling? Nico Ali Walsh or Campbell Hatton?
Nico Ali Walsh.
Walsh.
Who wins the title? Nico Ali Walsh or Josh Kelly?
Neither of them.
Josh Kelly.
Neither win a title. He didn't say which one's more likely to win a title. He said which one wins a title. Listen.
Which one's more likely to win a title?
Josh Kelly.
He knows nobody. He's just fucking around.
Okay. So just back. Oh, we got a super chat. Shout out to Napoli who says, Julius and company, how likely do you believe that Xander Zayas will be the next big breakout superstar in Puerto Rican boxing? I'll say this. I see things in Xander that I didn't see in Berlanga, that I didn't see in Verdejo. I had questions about Berlanga. I did it when everybody was talking about the knockouts, and those videos are still up. I said it then. You stopping guys early, you don't get to learn nothing. You're not gonna get to learn nothing. And at some point, it's gonna be and it's a cliche at this point when it's said, but it's the truth. At some point, you're gonna be in there with a guy that's not gonna go away, and you're gonna feel like a deer in the headlights. So
they're about to start pushing Xander more now over fucking Berlanga, that's for sure. Because their stocks skyrocketed and Berlanga's plummeted. That's for damn sure.
Listen, Berlanga and Zayas, the parallel for them is Garcia and Ortiz. Zayas is not high maintenance. He's not high maintenance. Virgil Ortiz, is not high maintenance. Ryan is high maintenance. Berlanga is high maintenance. That's the parallel. That's what's going. It's that kind of situation. What needs to, ain't it the truth though, Marks? Talk about it.
No, it is. Look, how much Zodiacs cost them yesterday? 12 grand? 12 grand? Come on, yo. That kid just want to fight and get some money, get some name notoriety for himself. He'll take any spot you have on a card. The fact that he got to co-main yesterday was huge for him, and he only got like 12, 15 grand or some shit. Fair play to him.
Well, he's low maintenance. He shows skills, not a novelty act, because the thing about Berlanga is they kept talking about all those knockouts he had, and I'm like, well, look, everybody gets knockouts at that level, though. Like, more or less, everybody does. He hasn't really fought anyone to where we should even care that he's knocking these guys out. Here's
my thing, right? And it's the same with every prospect. I'll tell you what I think the second I see him take a punch.
So I'm going to ask you a gutsy question, Mark. Do you think Berlanga is going to turn it around after looking like shit with Coceres?
Do you think Carbon Electra is about to show up at my door in 5 minutes?
No.
There you go.
I dig it.
Look, Julius.
Leo.
Do you remember the Jaime Munguia versus Saddam Ali fight?
Yes.
Okay. Munguia wasn't trying to maul him and get the stoppage because he was landing big punch. Those 2 knockdowns, I think were 2 or 3, they were actually good knockdowns. It was feinting with the jab, and then it shoots a left hook and gets a knockout. That is the kind of disposition that a fighter has when he wants to perform in good fashion. Berlanga, he says, well, I have a big punch. I'm gonna punch this guy through the guard enough times, and he's gonna fall.
Pretty much.
Is that the kind of boxing you wanna bring to the highest level?
I mean, look, a part of me wants him to be what they said he was, or what they want him to be. A part of me wanted him to be that because of what other fights it could make possible. You know, like, I would have liked the Berlanga versus Benavidez if Berlanga is who they say he is. But if he's not, that's just if he's not, you know, Mark. If
he gets killed. He gets killed.
He gets fucking killed, bro. And that's how it's looking.
They would run him over.
They'd run him fucking over.
This dude's meant to be this big, massive puncher. He goes the distance and gets dropped by a dude who got 1 punch KO'd by Billy Joe Saunders, the middleweight Malignaggi. I ain't having it, fam.
But that's what I mean.
Yo, bro, you treating that pizza dirty.
Hungry guy. Drew, shout out to Drew. Xander Zayas versus Low Maintenance will bring back Puerto Rican rivalry since Berlanga and the hype train will never be ready. And that's how I feel. I mean, he's at 168 now, right? And he's looking this way at this age. Can he go up there with those guys at 75 and do anything? No. Not Bivol, not Callum Smith, not Better Beav. Hell no. Not until Better Beav is 45, maybe.
You better keep his ass away from somebody like Hot Rod, bro. Rajab would beat the brakes off him. He'd box socks off him. Marcus Brown would come up.
So, comes to Berlanga, I had high hopes. I always do. I had high hopes for Verdejo, but I never saw what they wanted me to see. I guess I never saw him in that light.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what they say? Verdejo's the killer.
That's not funny. Shit. That's not funny. Isan.
Yeah, man, that's not funny. That is that is not funny. My guy, you need to pump the brakes on that car.
Sorry about that.
Who's Chinese Yoda? I'm high on Xander, but he still needs to go through the process of ascension and improving. I agree, but I feel that Xander is showing me actual skills, foot feints and things like that. He's showing actual skills. Berlanga, I never felt like you showed me and I'm not knocking him. He can get better. Why not? He can get better.
His guys is turning angles, right? He's feinting, he's full feinting, he's getting in and out of range at the right moments. Berlanga will swing, hit you, take you out because you way below his power level, because his power level is probably a top 30 power level. But the dudes he's fighting, their chins are probably like less than top 100 level chins. Then he go in there with people who know how to defend themselves. All of a sudden, that don't matter anymore. You feel me?
Isan, Drew liked your thing. He says that Verdejo joke is hilarious. Toasting to some mango Ciroc to that one. Cold-blooded. But it's terrible. Look, all I'm going to say is this. They've been hunting for the next face of Puerto Rican boxing ever since Miguel Cotto left.
That shit's done.
Verdejo was supposed to be the guy. He did not end up being the guy. For a second there, they almost had me with Berlanga, but I look and I'm like, well, he's not fighting anybody yet. So why do they keep ranting and raving about his knockout ratio? A lot of guys get knockouts at that level. What makes him different? I need to see more. And I've seen what I've seen. Xander, look, I'm not, not to sound repetitive. I think Xander has it. I think Xander has it. I think he does. At least more than Berlanga.
He'd beat DSG at 154 right now.
You see, I actually think the face of Puerto Rican boxing is technically in everybody's face, and they're not giving them the recognition yet, but it will happen. A true killer, Subriel Matias. I think it's right in front of you. I think after what he just did to Jukumbayev, what he did to Dadashev, I know he lost his fight after Dadashev to Anian, right? But a fighter coming off of a mortar, that could happen. I think when Taylor leaves that division, I think Matias is going to get that IBF title. And I think Matias is going to go on a run of knocking people the fuck out. And then he'll move up to 147 in 2 years. Well, and I think, I really do, bro.
Wait. What you have to factor into it is, who is Subriel Matias with? Who is he with?
Well, he's on PBC shows.
There you go. That won't happen then. They won't keep him busy enough. They won't. If he was with Top Rank, I would have agreed with you. Hell, even if he was with Matchroom, I would have agreed with you because the activity of the fighter is important. You have a guy who fights on PBC shows in Tuxak Nyambia, who ahead of the Gary Russell fight had not fought in a year. So you go from and this was a prospect. He wasn't really a contender yet. But you got a guy who don't even got a lot of fights, and you shelf him for a year, and then you ask him to fight in a title fight. They're not going to develop Matias right in order for him to become that. If he was with Top Rank, I would have agreed with you.
I feel you on that. I'm just saying, I think that the fighter that people are looking for Puerto Rico is right in front of their faces.
And I'm telling you, it's not him because he's with the wrong people. That's what I'm saying. He's with the wrong people.
I feel you. I'm just saying, if like PBC should think about that real quick and start putting some stock in this lad, because if they get him,
does not know how to develop fighters, bro.
They don't need to know. They need to put him in fucking fights. That's all they need to do. Just throw him in the fucking ring. He'll do the rest. He'll kill people. He killed people.
Hey, that's not funny. Listen. All right, let's go, Drew.
Yeah, pump the brakes.
Drew, you saw the Shakur Stevenson fight. I got a couple of questions for you. First, Walk us through what you were expecting, and then walk us through what you got. Was it what you expected it to be?
It was what I expected. I wasn't expecting to be highly entertained. I was expecting what I saw. Shakur has the goods technically, from fundamentals to ring IQ to trying to switch up what he needs to do. But I do think he has a ceiling at maybe like 140. He doesn't have the punch when if he's at 147, is he going to have the punch to hold people off? The thing people, and I'm tired of the Mayweather comparisons. At least Mayweather had enough sting to keep guys honest. At
Mayweather had power. Mayweather had power at those lower weights. It wasn't up until
Herring would have went. Herring wouldn't have lasted that long versus a Mayweather.
Exactly.
Probably 5 rounds. Probably 5 rounds.
Hey,
if it was
Mayweather would put like 4 or 5 punches together at those weights at 130, 135.
Yeah, he was a combination puncher at those weights. It wasn't one at a time. It wasn't just counter punches. He would lay into guys.
And so everybody needs to pump the brakes with that. He's like, no, he's not. No one's Floyd at those little weights. No African American fighters Floyd at those little weights.
So let me ask you. Hold on, wait. I'm not. Wait. I'm not.
Sorry.
Yeah. So are you in? And I haven't asked the rest of the panel this, but I'm going to start with Drew. Then I'm going to go to Chris. Were you impressed with what you saw?
I was impressed that he got lower opposition out of there. And he did it in an economical way. I wasn't impressed with in terms of like entertainment value. I wasn't impressed.
I'm gonna go to Chris. Chris, you saw the fight. First, walk me through what you expected and how you felt with what you got.
I was a little emotional. I picked off emotions, but my heart said Herring, but my mind said Shakur. I thought that Herring could, but it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that Shakur could stop Jamal. He was younger, fresher, and he was looking like, he was on the uptick. Jamal, I looked at him. I looked at a couple, interviews he had, and he looked gaunt. He looked like it's just like I'm tired of making weight at 130. Like I want to move up to 135, or I'm just tired of making weight in general. Like he just looked old in there. Like watching that fight, man. Like Shakur just looked sharp. He was putting combination punches together, and Mel had no answer. And this was probably worse than the Shafikov beating because, like, at least with the Shafikov beating, he looked at least kind of competitive. This was just like he got dragged. He didn't win a round.
All right. I'm going to ask you a 2-part question. Were you impressed with Shakur? In other words, did what you see yesterday have more to do with a gaunt Herring than an effective Shakur? Were you impressed with Shakur? Were you impressed with his boxing and his power?
I was impressed with Shakur, and I always knew Shakur could punch. Like, just because Shakur wasn't getting everybody out of there doesn't mean that he can't punch. Like, the knockouts that he did have at 2-6, people are getting the fuck up out of there when Shakur really wanted to put the gas on niggas. So, like, I always knew Shakur had power, but the boxing skill was good. Like we always knew Shakur was special. Like, out of everybody from 2016, out of the amateur class, from the Olympians to the alternates, and even the guys who just lost at, the final elimination stage, he was the cream of the crop. And I always knew he was going to be that dude. But, like, I was very impressed.
All right, Tony, let me go to Tony. Tony, you saw the fight. What did you think was going to happen? And is what happened yesterday what you expected?
I thought Shakur was going to win, but I said it would be the litmus test, and he passed with flying colors. I've been saying, and I've said it for a long time now, Shakur, first off, I say forget Devin Haney because they try to compare him to Mayweather. No. Shakur is going to be the closest thing to Mayweather we have. That's been my opinion for the last year with him. Well, probably a little bit longer than that. And this just backed it up even more because he completely mantled Herring. Only gave Herring 1 round. That was the 5th round. And even then you could have gave it to Shakur. But Yeah, he just outclassed him. Like he outclassed a good fighter, a really good fighter, and made it look easy. So he did what I thought he should do if he was what I thought he was.
Now I'm gonna go backwards, and I'm gonna start with Tone, and I'm gonna go to Drew. Can this kid punch? Does he have power? What are your thoughts? I mean, like, you gotta keep it real, yo.
No, here's the thing. He has enough pop to let you know he's hitting you. Now, will he ever be a devastating knockout artist? No. Can he get knockouts by accumulating punches together? Yes. So I would say that he has respectable power, but he's not a true puncher by no stretch.
All right. I'm gonna go to Drew. Drew, can this kid punch? Does he have power?
Punching and having power are two different things. Like brother said before, he could punch. He has accuracy, which will make up for the lack of power. The precision of his punches will get your attention.
All right, but
the power. Do I see the power like Tio? Do I see the power like Tank? Absolutely not.
I don't see it, and that's why.
And going up to 135, 140.
When I hear the Mayweather stuff, what gets me is Mayweather had power at those weights. These young guys, Shakur, Haney, they don't. Like, look, I think he boxed great yesterday, but I think his speed is what.
I can't say that about Devin Haney because Devin Haney looks like he can't make 35. I have to assess that if he goes up to 140 and he can't crack an egg, he just doesn't have power. Because let's look at it. When Terence Crawford couldn't knock people out at 135 anymore because he should have knocked out Raimundo Beltran, if we're being honest.
Nah.
When he went up to 40?
No. You're not gonna do Beltran like that. For starters, Beltran is a tough motherfucker. Look, he became a champion.
I was about to say that.
He became a champion years.
Beltran was giving Pacquiao all that fucking work and sparring all these years. Come on,
bro. Beltran went
but
in there.
Did you see how?
Wait. He went in there with Comey, and Comey was piecing him up, but he never got slapped. He got knocked down, but he never stopped getting up. He never stopped fighting. So I cannot put that indictment on Crawford, right? When he fought Beltran years ago, when Beltran was top 5 in the world. Nah.
Yeah. But he was fucking up Beltran though, bad though. If you watch that fight, he was fucking him up.
But that's saying that, look, if the fight looked the way it looked, it got more to do with Beltran's chin, not Crawford's lack of power. We know Crawford has power. He spiked Gamboa like a football. He got power. All right.
But it came to a point in time that he couldn't make 135, and there was guys that he was going the full 12-round distance that younger in his career when he was at 35 and he could make 35, properly, he was getting dudes out of there. So the thing is, you got to remember the Antonio Moran fight, Haney got dude the fuck up out of there. And you got to remember, the Alfredo Santiago fight, he got a shoulder injury. So he hasn't been the same since then. Yeah. I'm telling you, if Haney goes up to 40 and
with Haney versus Linares ain't got no punch resistance, and he went to dance with Haney.
Yeah,
that's true.
This is what I mean. And like, look, and I'm not knocking Shakur or Devin for that matter, but this young Mayweather shit got to stop. Like, none of them is Mayweather.
Oh, Julius, but let me explain. Hold on. Yes, you were correct. Pretty Boy Floyd was getting them out of there, but that's not how I'm assessing him, is by being Mayweather-like. What I'm looking at is how high his percentage is whenever he lands punches. He's extremely accurate. I believe he's the most accurate puncher currently in boxing. Number 2, he also has the best defense. He's the least hit fighter in boxing. Both those categories check the boxes, just like Mayweather.
Yeah, but Tone, Tone. That's statistic. Wait, Tone. Wait. Let me do this. Let me finish. That statistic is based on who he's fought. He hasn't fought damn near nobody till yesterday.
Yeah, but Mayweather fought a lot of bums too early in his life.
No. Stop that.
Come on, man.
He fought Gennaro Hernandez in his 17th fight, bro. Gennaro had a record of 38-1. You can't, Angel Manfredi. That's Chico Corrales. Nah, we can't do that. We can't do that.
Nah.
And
People
all
need
the
to
and,
stop,
real
bro.
talk though,
Stop.
all those little statistics are cute. That don't make you no star though. That don't sell tickets. That don't put butts in front of TVs.
Nah, I mean,
being a star and putting butts in front of the TV is not reflective to your actual ability.
It's the entertainment business.
It can be.
But
I
we're
want to
not
be
in
entertained.
we're not in a theater. We're not in a theater. We're here to see fights. We're here to see killers
That makes
fight
the
each
prize
other.
bigger when you can do that. That makes the prize bigger. It's prize fighting.
Let's say this. Shakur's skills and his marquee value are mutually exclusive. They are. I think he's more skilled than Gervonta Davis. Hand on heart, honest to God, I actually think he's more skilled than Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. I actually do. Like skill, nuts and bolts. I actually think he's more skilled than them. He just needs the chance to prove it. But marquee value, listen, Liam Smith and Anthony Fowler sold more tickets in Liverpool for their fight that wasn't a title fight than Herring and Stevenson. That's just the truth. That is just the truth. And that's why those two things.
They did like 2K or 5K, right? Out of 20?
What are you talking about?
I think
Smith
it was
and
like
Fowler or Herring and Stevenson?
No. Herring and Stevenson. I think they did
Herring
like
and Stevenson. So it's like I'm not gonna knock him because he's a sweet science guy, right? I'm not gonna knock him, but I don't see. I feel like what Drew's getting at is if he doesn't exhibit certain characteristics that even Floyd had in the beginning, you're never gonna be that guy because Floyd was fucking guys up. Sure, like Herring versus Stevenson. I mean, yeah, Herring versus Stevenson is a far cry from Mayweather versus Corrales. It is. It is.
But wait. Mayweather was further in his career when he fought Corrales. So we're looking
at compare it to Hernandez then, Tone.
But how far was he in his career? Because he was.
If you look at their box recs right now, Shakur in his first fights up to 17, where Mayweather was at Tony Pep, Shakur fought better people. He's fought better people thus far.
Gennaro Hernandez was his
No, that was his 18th fight. That was his 18th fight. So Shakur, wait. So Shakur's got one more to go to be at that.
All I'm saying, wait. All right. How does Herring versus Stevenson for the WBO stack up with Mayweather versus Hernandez for the WBC? Keep it real with yourself.
It stacks up better. It stacks up better than Tony Pep, who Mayweather fought in his 17th fight.
Bruh, I think you like him too much.
No, listen to what I'm saying.
Fight too high on him.
18 for Mayweather was Hernandez. Shakur hasn't had 18 fights. He's at 17. His next fight will be on par with that. That will be whoever he picks the fight will be Hernandez.
Now, before I pass it through,
who is there for him to pick? He ain't gonna pick Loma.
Nah. Drew, let me.
He's gonna fight Valdez and fuck him up.
No,
he's not. Valdez fighting Navarrete.
That's what let me do this. Listen, I hate to break the news to all the Shakur Stevenson fans that's out there, right? But he's not getting Valdez. Nah. And the performance that he put on yesterday is the kind of performance to where you too good for your own good, and they ain't gonna want to fuck with you. Navarrete want to move up, but it ain't for Stevenson. And you think Oscar gonna do that after how he looked with Conceição? You think he want to fight another stick and move fighter? You think he no? So who is Shakur gonna fight? Alexis. You saw yesterday's fight, right? Walk me through your thoughts. Was it what you expected, and are you impressed?
My brother, you knows what I expected, bro. You know that. I was on your show, told you this dude is gonna stop Jamal Herring because Jamal Herring's heart is gonna get him stopped. A lot of people thought that Shakur Stevens does not punch hard, that he doesn't sit down on his punches. None of that was true. What happens is that he has the...
Damn, he cut out.
The best part.
Cliffhanger. I'm going to take you out and bring you back. Hold on. Let's go. And you're back. Okay. Are you still there, Alexis? Shit. Just when it was getting good. See, I think that Shakur
got killed.
I think Shakur's about to face a drought. If I'm keeping it real with you, he
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
about to
is.
face a drought.
Julius.
You better just move up.
Julius.
Move
Damn.
up.
Listen. Hold on,
Am I
Julius.
in?
Hold on. Let me say this.
All right. All the way. Alexis is back. Let him go.
All right.
Alexis, you know the question. Go ahead.
All right. So again, a lot of people criticized Shakur Stevens for supposedly not having power or being safety first or not sitting down. None of that was true. What was happening is that he has this gift of hitting you with power, enough power to hurt you, but most importantly is that he's going to hit you with a shot that you can't see coming and won't see coming. And that makes his opponents afraid to attack him and makes for boring fights. What happened with Herring is that Herring is going to go through that because he's got more to prove. Herring's heart got him stopped. It could have been a boring fight that went to decision that he would lose anyway, but Herring kept coming forward and felt the need to prove something. And he just did not have the reflexes to deal with that young blood. As far as moving forward, Navarrete, right? Again, Oscar Valdez is not going to fight Shakur Stevenson.
No.
For a couple of reasons, right? First of all, and it's not even about a duck. You can call it a duck and this and that, but people are so simplistic about it. The big money, a bigger money fight is Navarrete. It is.
That's true.
It's an all-Mexican fight. They could do it wherever, Navajo country, Las Vegas, whatever. The point is he's going to have the advantages of the seeming advantages of Navarrete moving up to 130. The other thing that's in the background is that Bob Arum satisfies his partners. And Fernando Beltran is a very good partner of his.
They want Valdez.
With Zanford. So if he wants that fight and Bob can see that he can make more money with that fight, he's going to give him that fight because then Fernando Beltran is going to keep doing business with him and giving him the pick of the litter of his fighters, right? So Oscar is going to get Navarrete. Now, the great thing about this is that it makes the Shakur fight bigger down the end because ultimately they will fight Shakur because one hand washes the other. Beltran is not opposed to making that fight, but on his terms, right? So if you give him the Navarrete fight against Oscar Valdez, and Navarrete will beat Valdez. I'm telling you right now. He will beat Valdez.
Wait a minute.
Yes, he will.
I agree.
Yes, he will.
Navarrete beats Valdez.
Yes, Navarrete beats Valdez.
Absolutely.
I got Valdez sleeping him.
Wait a minute.
Now Navarrete is gonna watch. Navarrete is gonna suck Oscar into that old style and all that Reynoso shit's gonna go out the window and that Mexican pride is gonna take over.
That's right. Listen to that man. He knows what he's talking about. All that shit's gonna go out the window. Oscar Valdez, who almost always ends up, you know, that performance against Berchelt, that was an outlier.
That's a hot take. Alexis, I just want to say that's a hot fucking take.
I'm agreeing with him.
It's not a hot to some people, but to me it's not. To me, it just makes sense. Oscar Valdez, he is prone to blood and guts fights. He's gonna get into that shit with fucking.
I was there that night in the rain when he's broke his jaw against Quigg. That's how he fights.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't give him enough credit for
shot for shot though. I think Valdez hits harder. I think shot for shot.
With that.
If he hits Navarrete hasn't been hit by a dude that will try to rip his face off.
That's true.
For all Oscar Valdez flaws and everything, he can punch.
Yeah,
like,
the problem is
bro, Chuck got hit with the home sweet syndrome, bro.
Let's get it down now. Y'all, what Drew is saying,
Valdez,
what Alexis is saying, and what Isan is saying is that Navarrete could become a three-way champion. That's pound for pound shit. That's pound for pound shit.
I was gonna say that when I got
Navarrete is going to be growing into 130. He's going to bring up that. I don't know if he could carry to beyond 130, but Navarrete could definitely carry that power up to I mean beyond to 130, right? Beat Valdez, and then that sets up Shakur Stevenson against Navarrete. In that fucking fight, you will see the fight that we never got to see, in my estimation, which was
That's a harder fight for Shakur than Valdez
okay.
for sure.
You know, that's the fight that we didn't get to see when Margarito and Floyd Mayweather didn't get together. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
So
Or
we know
Margaret or
nothing about
Floyd versus
Shakur.
Paul Williams. Paul Williams throws just as much.
You know why we can't use that parallel, Alexis? Because we know Antonio was the naturally bigger guy to Floyd in this situation.
This is true. This is true.
Navarrete is the naturally smaller guy to Shakur. And I do favor Shakur in that fight if that's the way it breaks down. I do favor Shakur.
Shakur will be running his hands all over Navarrete's face. Navarrete don't have good defense.
This is why. This is what I'm getting at. And I don't know who'd win that fight. But here is why I find it so interesting. Shakur is deadly against conventional fighters. His pedigree comes from Olympic pedigree. He's faced conventional fighters that he's faster than. He's seen everything, but they are classically trained fighters. Navarrete's none of that. From Shakur's own mouth, he said he sucked against Nikitila because Nikitila's unorthodox. And he had big power. So it made him hesitate. Now, you imagine with Navarrete, if Nikitila's fucking unorthodox, then what is Navarrete?
Julius, I can tell you.
Navarrete will switch all over that ring.
There's no way. There's no way. There is no way.
Hold on, let Tone in on the conversation. Tone, go ahead.
There's no way possible Valdez is going to go anywhere near Navarrete. You could see how bad he looked after they took it. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. After they took his herbal tea away, he did not look the same. And
they didn't
put him in there.
They didn't take the tea away.
They didn't take the herbal tea away.
Look, they took his herbal tea away, and Conceição came in there and whooped up on him. But here's the thing: Navarrete, way more dangerous, hits way harder than Shakur. If he's given the choice between the two, they're going to go for speed over power. They know.
That's a Mexican. That fight's going to get a lot of money from both of them. But let me ask the panel this:
give it to him. He's going to lose it. He will.
Let me ask y'all this: what does Shakur do in the meantime? Does he get disgruntled because that? Shakur ain't gonna get a unification fight till late next year.
It don't matter. Like I said, Shakur, in my opinion, he's already ahead of Mayweather. He's a 2-division champion. Mayweather hadn't even won a title by his 7.
Here we go. The hyperbole.
Here we go.
Shakur's not gonna get disgruntled. Shakur's not gonna get disgruntled.
Wait. Let me do this. Let me do this first, and then I'll give it to you, Alexis. First, I know that he had a belt at featherweight, right? I understand that. But have you actually thought about his reign, quote unquote, at featherweight? He had the belt. Then the next fight, he went up to super featherweight, bro.
Who ran from him?
Oscar.
Does Shakur crack the ring IQ pound for pound?
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No. You can't do it like that, bro.
I'm telling you, this dude is special. He is
I
special.
think he's
I've been saying it for a long time.
Yo,
and he just showed everybody. People are upset that Aaron got the living shit beat out of him. But
it ain't even like that.
He got outclassed by a guy who only 17 fights at 24 years old. He outclassed him.
All right, but what I'm saying is he about to face a drought that I think might hurt his marquee value. If he's lucky, well, now wait.
He's not gonna face a drought.
Now, if he's lucky, and this is the alternative, if he's lucky, he gets Burchelt on the rebound.
I was going to say that. I swear to you and I were thinking the same thing.
And that's Fernando Beltran fighter.
Julius, why not this? Why doesn't he just go for Conceição if he can't get Valdez? And then
because nobody
wants that.
Tone, nobody
wants that Conceição problem.
That fight will be.
It doesn't pay enough.
It ain't even a pay, bro. It's that. Could you imagine how fucking boring that fight would be? Like, I don't want to see that shit. Hell no.
You know who Shakur might fight? You know who Shakur might fight? The Puerto Rican guy with the orange beard.
Oh, I know who you talking about. Dark skin cat?
Dark skin cat.
I know who you
a nice
talking about.
New York fight between a Puerto Rican and
Wait, you talking about
and a half a Rican.
half a?
All right.
Yeah, I know you talking about.
That's how that. He's not gonna
Hey,
go through no doubt.
so
And the thing is that Jay Prince plays ball. Jay Prince,
Yeah.
but he knows business. He knows what it is. At the end of
so
the day, Navarrete coming off, or Navarrete or Oscar coming off and facing each other, making their money, will make a fight against Shakur Stevenson that much bigger with that much more money. Jay Prince knows that. He knows that.
Drew, go ahead.
Yeah.
Drew, go ahead.
So the writing's on the wall. Shakur's going to have a drought, and Lomachenko's going to have a drought.
Nah, he's not gonna have a
35.
drought.
Nah, he
He's
ain't
not
gonna
gonna have a drought.
In terms
Loma
of like,
not gonna have a
in terms
drought.
of like, who's Loma going to fight next after Comey?
All right, if he don't get Comey, right?
Hang
No,
on.
he's got Comey. It's going to come down.
Oh, yeah. He got Comey. I'm
He'll
bugging.
fight me.
He got Comey, but I could see Loma still getting fights though. And shit, Top Rank might release him if they can't do nothing with him, or they can give him. No, wait a minute. Let me
Because
talk.
Loma deserves a shot after Comey, right? Say
If Lopez doesn't give him the time of day, which I think he might not, right? You could still make Loma a champion. So I don't think Loma's gonna face a drought. You could put a belt in his hand. My thing is, if he goes in there and he doesn't look as good as Lopez did with Comey, that might be a problem.
He can't. He cannot look as good. It's impossible.
Don't dismiss Loma against Shakur Stevenson.
That's what I'm getting at.
I mean, it's a dumb fight. Julius, to back up what you just said, it's a dumb fight because Loma's got all the momentum going for him. He just fucked up Nakatani, looked great against him, but now he's taking a fight that he cannot look better than TON. There's no way Loma's going to knock out Comey in the second round. So no matter what, he's going to look worse. It's a dumb fight.
You don't know that.
That's a great fucking point, brother.
You don't know that.
It is.
I like this guy. Who's that guy?
That's Tone.
Tone from who?
Tone, where you from, Tone?
Where am I from? You already know. New York.
All right. Now I'm gonna say this. This is why I'm not gonna write off Loma's chances. I'm not gonna write him off. But I'm gonna say that that's a factor. That like, yo, dog, Lopez beat the shit out of Comey real fucking fast, bro. It was fast. It was 2 rounds, I think. It was fast. It's hard to beat that. But I'm not gonna count Loma out because he did beat the fuck out of Nakatani. And I know Nakatani had wear and tear and all of that, and he orbital bone and all the shit.
Than wear and tear, bro.
But I think, Jules, don't you think if he puts on another sublime performance like that, people are gonna love it? It doesn't. That will.
Of course,
people will ignore what Lopez did to Comey. If
I don't give Loma any credit for that
and knocks him out.
What does your gut tell you, Drew, about the Comey fight? Does your gut tell you that he's gonna outdo Lopez in that fight?
I am going to that fight. I'm flying out there. My gut tells me I'm going to be highly entertained, and Loma is going to deserve a crack at somebody's belt.
Lopez won't give it to him, especially.
No, we know. That's what I'm saying. So
he's already #1 WBO.
Loma deserves a belt shot after beating Comey next. He's proven his way back. He's taken on tougher competition than any other champs.
My man in Mexico, Alejandro y Hamburguesa, they're saying that Comey is gonna upset Loma. That's what they're saying. And Alejandro, he be right about some shit. He be right. I'm just saying that's what he's saying. Don't quote me. I'm quoting him. He's saying Comey is gonna upset Loma.
Nah,
Comey right hand.
That's the same for the same reason they said that Comey was gonna upset Teofimo.
Yeah, but Comey
is a long range.
Yeah, like no. The problem is Loma gets underneath you, and Comey keeps his chin way up in the air, so it's going to be very easy to keep him off balance. I don't think Comey can beat him, and I sure as hell don't think he can knock him out because his chin is just too up there to be hit.
Comey can't beat Loma because Comey doesn't fight in the inside well, and Loma's gonna get in there. Those long looping shots are just not gonna. He's gonna be inside of Comey's power.
Yeah, just stay underneath him and hit him in that chin.
Exactly.
So what y'all telling me is y'all got Lomachenko knocking out Richard Comey. I just want to get it on record.
I don't know if he knocks him out, but he's going to keep him off balance.
He might just stop.
Could be a stoppage.
Stops him
I'm flying out to see Lomachenko knock out Comey like he did Nakatani.
Stops him late.
Pretty much.
Drew not fucking around. He's standing on his square. Go ahead.
I apologize for disrespecting Loma by backing Tio now that Tio's moving like a chump. And Loma's going to surprise some people. He wants a big fight. He deserves a big fight.
You know what? Tell y'all, I honestly
Shakur would be a big fight.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. Lomachenko is going to beat Comey. He's going to beat him. It's going to be a very one-sided fight. Then what's going to end up happening is he's going to go for fake undisputed against George Kambosos after he defeats Teofimo Lopez.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, that would make my day.
My man.
He
went there. My man went there. Oh,
don't talk to me about it, Tone. Don't bullshit me now. All right. You really that's how you really have it. That's how you really have it.
Why is Errol Spence mad at the WBA though? He can get a unification after Porter Crawford.
He won't tag Paco though.
Hold on. We're going to talk about Spence in a minute. I want to talk about Spence too. We'll talk about Spence in a minute. But I need to get this. I want to get this from Tone. Tone, are you being serious? Like, look at me in my eyes, bro. You being for real.
Hold on.
You being real.
Hold on.
All right, let's go to the big screen.
There we go. We got to look eye to eye.
All right, hold on. I'm about to get you on a joint. Tell everybody.
George Kambosos is going to whoop that ass because Tio is already scared of him. That's why he's postponed the fight 5 times now. He's
Yo, this is wow.
I love it. Because if that happens, me and Drew are gonna lose 10 fucking pounds laughing at that shit. That night.
Man.
And hold on, let me say this. I'm gonna add to it, what's gonna end up happening is George Kambosos is never gonna give Tio a rematch, and I'm gonna love it.
No. He gonna listen, this would be the poetic justice of the shit. Lopez would not give Loma a rematch, even though there was money on it's more money in a rematch than it was in the first fight, but he won't do it. So if Kambosos do him like that, that'd be gold. But I'm not calling my bookie.
Brooklyn has a rematch clause.
I'm not calling my bookie.
Tio will say
something
shit. That God wanted him to go through the valley and that's why that happened.
Drew, do you see it?
Just keep it a buck, bro. Tio beat Loma, but he really ran off on the plug. That's why he didn't give him a rematch.
It was that Rocky too. He's like, I won, but I didn't beat him.
Drew, do you see it that way? That Kambosos about to shock the world.
Was Kambosos really wild slumpy shit?
I think this is the first. This is a grown man. Tio's acting like a little bitch this last whole year. That shit. He tried to talk tough. Then he tried to talk about God. Then he tried to talk tough again. George sees right through that bullshit.
But this is the George that fought Lee Selby. Feel me? It's like something else got to beat Tio for George to win that fight. The weight, the time off, something got. Because I'm like, look, I seen George, and God bless him and his whole family and all of that. That's great, but it's very hard for me to sit here and say, George is gonna beat Lopez.
Crazier things have happened in this sport.
They have.
True.
They have.
George, he ain't got to knock him out because he can't knock him out. But what he can do is he can outspeed him, and he can keep disrupting Tio so he can't get knocked out. And I think he can outpoint him because
he can't outspeed him.
Tio is very easy to hit. He's got his guard is almost non-existent. He has no.
We got to debate, Tone. We got to debate.
He has no defense.
Alexis is in opposition of everything you saying. I got to mediate now. Alexis, you heard what Tone said. What are your thoughts?
Listen. I know what shit Tone is on, man. He's on some New York, I'm gonna fuck with everybody's head shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even gonna, yo no voy a prestar atención a esa loquera, loco.
You don't think George has a shot.
Kambosos does not have Tio's reflexes. What Tio has is relaxed reflexes. He hardly gets fucking hit.
Alexis, we don't know right now. Espera un momento. We don't know if Tio has Tio's reflexes right now. October
Well,
was.
let me say this. Let me say
Okay,
this.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Let me say this real fast. This is all I'm gonna say about Tio's defense. Tio's defense is so good that after he fought Nakatani, he started crying, and I quote his words: "I'll never fight another tall fighter again."
That's true. That's true. And I never
Okay,
heard
that's
no
crazy as
fighter.
hell.
I never heard no fighter say that. I know I ain't hear Leonard say that when he smoked Hearns. You know what I mean? I didn't hear Leonard saying, "Yeah, I ain't fighting no more tall fighters." Only fight.
And Tommy Hearns almost punched Leonard eye off his face.
I'm sorry, but who actually destroyed Nakatani?
Lopez.
Okay.
Lopez. And
Who
the Verdejo fight.
fractured
The
his
Verdejo fight.
fucking eye socket?
Lopez.
Let's put things in perspective.
You got to keep it a buck, and also Lopez gave him a small brain bleed too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
The same guy that wants Josh Taylor at a
Nobody
catch
talks
weight.
about Nakatani. Yo, Nakatani, I don't give
The same guy that wants Josh Taylor at a catch
I
weight.
don't give
Drew,
Lomachenko
he's not that
any
guy
credit
anymore.
for Nakatani. I don't give Lomachenko any credit for Lomachenko.
Listen. You gotta break Lopez down like how you break Mayweather down. You got Pretty Boy Floyd and you got Money May. You got Lopez pre-Loma and you got Lopez post-Loma.
So we got the takeover and now the layover.
The layover. That's what we got.
But
this
we
is
don't
the
know.
layover.
But we don't know what we got. We don't know what we got.
I know that shit at 135. Lopez Pool is not gonna work with Pro Gray, Jose Ramirez.
That shit won't work.
Josh Taylor. That's what I know.
That shit won't work. That shit won't. And I'm.
So Tony believes.
Lopez fucked himself up, man. Lopez locked himself into that 135 shit, and then instead of just going up, taking some tune-ups at 140 against the Barbosas, whatever, see who he is, and work himself into the 140.
Barboza's a very dangerous fight at 40. That's not a tune-up.
Wait. Now let's do this. Let's do this. Now this is. I think me and Drew are eye to eye on this, right? You don't want to give Loma. Wait. You don't want to give Loma a rematch, right? You're not gonna get Davis. You're not gonna get Garcia. Why the fuck are you still at 35 then?
Hello.
Why are you still at 35? You don't want to fight Loma again, right? Well, you're not gonna get none of these other fucking guys.
Listen, I really liked Lopez, man, but he's on that schizophrenic PBC bullshit, bro. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going. He's talking out his ass. Come on, stop.
He just had it. All he had to do was just let Bob handle it.
That's
and
it.
Tony, you really believe that the takeover is going to be the sleepover?
That's what
he exposed himself. Top Rank knew that motherfucker.
Let me tell y'all something. Come on. When George Kambosos beats Tio, all euros on me. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, this is wow, B. You dead ass, Tone. You not playing,
man.
Like you dead ass.
Jules, talk about that Errol Spence thing, though. Him coming out the woodworks with the Twitters.
Okay, now on Twitter, Spence said that I don't need a tune-up. That's for people that's hesitant or nervous or whatever. He's saying,
nigga, you just got punched. You got almost killed by a fucking car accident, and your eye fell out your face.
Bro, they detach
you almost got killed by the roid.
They detach your retina with headgear on, bro. The dude had headgear, and your retina got detached.
It must have been loose already.
What happened when the headgear come off? I'm keeping it like everybody. Look. Nobody say nothing. Everybody was asking after the fight based on what Ugas did. Oh, what would Spence have done? And I said it in plain English. His eye would have got destroyed. Look at Ugas's eye. Look at Ugas's eye after the fight. Manny got a southpaw jab, which is the eye that the retina got detached. The left, it's the left eye. His eye would have been in line for Manny's southpaw jab. He would have fucked you up, is what would have happened. He would have stopped you.
Just like a ball in a string, he would have been playing with it.
Remember I told you, Julius, I said Manny was going to win all those times.
I believe Manny Pacquiao got set up because Errol Spence and both Ugas' opponent had the same damn injury, which is highly unlikely. Then when I saw Ugas get into the ring with Pacquiao, it looked like he had been training for him the whole time. He was ready for Pacquiao. Everything he did was there to counter what Pacquiao was doing, from his high guard to the way he was moving. It looked like he had trained for Pacquiao.
Ugas has a style to trouble Manny, actually.
I think he got set up.
But
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was punching the fuck out of Pacquiao, bro.
but let's go into your theory. Manny was set up. Why would you set up Manny for Ugas? There's the Cuban fan base.
No
Like it
payoff
ain't
on
no
it, right?
Cuban. It ain't no
There's no
Cuban fan
payoff. That
base.
destroys
It's not
Errol's
about
chances of marquee value. And
it's not
if he
about the
did
fan.
want to unify,
It's about that you got this old man that you don't want to risk taking out your marquee fighter who's probably only got 1 or 2 fights left in him if he beats Spence. So what you do is you get your other dude to take him out. Then you get Spence, who should easily beat Ugas, to beat the man who beat the man. Now you have the man.
Easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
Ugas might fuck around and beat the dog shit out of
you
Spence.
do know that
Stop
Spence
that
Ugas
now.
Cut that shit out, bro.
Yeah, cut that out now.
does worse.
Nah,
That
I
does worse
promise
than the
you.
Manny Ugas pay per view.
I promise you, Ugas he's gonna get walked through by Spence.
Who's gonna pay for that?
I
Sean,
what?
Sean,
What,
you wailing, bro.
Who's gonna pay for that?
Sean gave Ugas more respect than Errol.
Yeah.
You wailing.
Yeah.
He did not want to crowd Ugas and be all in his wheelhouse. He wanted to pick his moment to get in there. With Spence, he was all in the sauerkraut. You wailing.
He was all in Spence shit, literally. He was all in Spence shit. Let's not play this game.
Who's paying for Spence Ugas?
I just feel
you
like
are.
That's the blessing.
Not me.
That's the blessing, man.
Here's the thing about it, Julius.
I like this topic.
Porter fought Ugas differently. He fought him from the outside because he didn't respect his power. So I think he went in there and tried to. No, hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. So I think he fought him from the outside to outbox him, which ended up working because we never see Porter fight from the outside. Now, hold on. Let me finish. When you smother somebody, when you stay chest to chest, head to head with them, you negate their power by being close, especially a taller fighter like Spence is to Porter. If Porter would have fought him from the outside, he would have stayed on the end of Spence's punch. So he came in to avoid that.
Bro, I feel what you're saying because that's true. When a guy has power, you actually want to be close to him. I dig it. And if you long range, if you on the outside of him and you stay out there where his power can't be all that, because if it was, he would knock you the fuck out because you all the way out there. I feel what
But
you're saying.
look at Porter's face after the Ugas fight.
And look at it after the Spence fight though. Like,
okay, but
yeah,
Porter always fights like that.
Yeah.
Except for Ugas. Except for him.
That's what makes it different.
So
you
Ugas
telling
can
me,
punch.
wait, you saying that he smothered Granados because he was afraid that Granados was too strong for him? Nah, that's just Sean, bro.
That's
just Sean.
Porter had somebody in front of him that was not hurting him, so he displayed something different because he felt he could do it.
Hey, Ugas is a harder fight for Crawford.
I mean, you're talking about, like, I'm not big on Ugas. You're talking about a guy who couldn't even make it through 140 pounds without getting his ass whooped left and right. Like, I'm not big on Ugas like that.
Wait, let's do this. I'm not big on Ugas like that. And I think
you have to understand this.
Ugas, he sees something in Stanionis that he don't like. And all that belly aching, that's what that shit is. Like, why y'all gotta make me fight him? Why y'all gotta make me fight him? That's what that shit is.
I never seen Stanionis fight though.
The Stanionis do be walking niggas down, but you also gotta remember Ugas at 140, he probably wasn't making weight that well. And also, let's keep it a buck. Outside of the losses Amir Imam has, that's a good fighter.
Yeah.
It's no shame to lose to Amir Imam.
I mean,
yeah,
no. But the other thing is, everybody acting like Ugas is frozen in time, like he didn't get better. No, he got better. He did get better. Am I high on him? No. I think Virgil Ortiz would stop him. I think Boots Ennis would stop him. I think these things. I think that
Boots would do him bad. Boots would do him disgusting.
I think
you do him bad.
No, I'm not even done. I think that he sees something in a Montes Stanionis of Pro Bellum, Richard Schaefer, that he don't like. And that's why he been crying for a week about this shit. A week. Why you making me fight a mandatory?
I said
Why
he's acting like a bitch, and he
this
said he's gonna block me if I disrespect.
Why you doing this to me? Why I gotta fight? And I'm like, look, man, you are one of 5 active reigning world champions that got ordered to fight somebody, and you the only one crying about it. The only one. You not the only one under orders, but you the only one that's crying about it. And I'm thinking, what did you want to do?
Anthony Joshua does not do this at all. Like, that's why I felt it.
We
I
don't
swear
do
to God, I
this.
fuck with these niggas.
But
You
even,
never hear this
even
from him.
even a French dude at cruiserweight, he's under orders to fight a guy. Do you hear him complaining? No, it's only Ugas. So that tell me maybe it's something about Stanionis that he don't like, because you're not talking about the Spence fight. You wasn't gonna fight Spence this year. What you wanted to do was sit on your hands for what remains of 2021 and make it safely to Spence next year. And that's if he gets cleared. That's if it all happens in February. Might not. But what you didn't want to do was gamble. And it looked like you feel like Stanionis is a gamble, because you haven't stopped crying in a week. And it's just a mandatory. Big fucking deal. You fought Sean Porter. You don't got no confidence in yourself? You fought Sean Porter, right? And you coming off the career high win, the best win of your life. So why should Stanionis bother you?
He didn't even win the WBO.
What is Stanionis' physique? What is Stanionis' physique?
He's like Mean Machine. He's like Mean Machine.
Oh, okay.
He's like that. He's like a he's like a big. He's a sturdy guy. He's a sturdy young guy. Because dude look like a child in the face, but he's sturdy.
Okay.
What
like
I
one
see,
of them child's face bodybuilding niggas.
What I see is something about that guy you don't like, because you talking about a dude, right? He ain't got no notoriable scalps. I think he like 14 or 13-0. He ain't really been in there with a lot of guys, right? But if that's the case, why should that bother Ugas? Ugas been in there with motherfucking Omar Figueroa. He been in there with Sean Porter. He been in there with Manny Pacquiao. Why the fuck should Stanionis bother you? Though it's clear he does bother you. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. Yeah. Why?
Or it's this. Ugas got money from the Pacquiao fight, and now he felt how that money feels, and he's tasted that money. And I don't think he just wants to fight Stanionis for that reason. Or you could be right. Or Stanionis just might walk right through Ugas. Who knows?
I mean, we got motherfuckers
I believe in the
picking George
latter.
Groves. We got motherfuckers picking George Groves to beat Teofimo Lopez. All things are possible with Jesus Christ. I'm a laugh if that shit happens.
Who? George Groves and Teofimo Lopez. Fuck?
My fault. George Kimboso. So my fault.
George Groves might kill that nigga. You saw what he did to Edward Guinan. I would nah. If I was Teofimo Lopez, I'll stay far away from dude. Far away from dude.
I will say this. I hope a part of me hopes that Tone is right, and I'm not even joking. Like, I really would like for him to be right, because that Sunday is gonna be the funniest shit. And Drew knows why. I ain't gonna say no names, but Drew knows why.
Say if George Kambosos Terry Norris is him, like how Terry Norris did John Mugabe, I would dead laugh.
Yo,
just imagine.
They're gonna be 300.
Yo, that's a Sunday fight.
I'm gonna be posting Leonidas pictures, all types of 300 memes all day long.
All I'm gonna say is, if it happens that way, we better be on the lookout for my man, Mr. Moonshine. Because if anything happens to Teofimo B,
he's gonna kill himself.
Hey, he's a good dude,
Bro.
but it's clear that he likes the kid. You know, he has a lot of respect for the kid. He's real high on the kid. I think that would affect him the way that watching Roy get slid under the ring affected me. It affected me. Like, I was traumatized by that. All right. And I think that's how it would affect him.
Punch is like his second promoter.
I mean, look, man, that undisputed situation is nowhere near as complex as people try to make it out to be. I do not care about it. It's not. You can't win something from Loma that he did not have. He did not have it. I don't give a shit what you think about Devin and his pillow fist. The bottom line is Loma didn't have it. He didn't have the world title. When Teofimo moves up in weight, let's say he beats George, right? He beats George. He goes up to 40. The only WBC title left is going to be Devin's, not Teofimo's. Why? Because that's the real one. That franchise shit stays with you. If you go up to 40, it stays with you. If you go up to 47, it stays with you.
Well, not just that, but Teo had to petition to win it. He couldn't win it. He had to petition the WBC, and they said, yeah, we will accept you as the champion if you can beat Lomachenko. What belt do you have to petition for?
Okay, wait. What about the Teofimo Lopez super title, super WBC title.
It's not a super title.
You can win it.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it.
No,
I'm not talking about. No, I'm not talking about
One
the
of his
franchise
belts
title.
was super.
No, super
Yeah.
is different than
Oh, the
franchise.
WBA.
A
No,
super.
the
But
WBC.
listen. You can win a super title.
Wait, the
If Julius,
WBC doesn't have a super title.
hey,
Yes,
listen what I'm
it
saying.
does for
No,
Teofimo
listen.
Lopez.
Can y'all
No.
hear me? Can you hear me talking, Julius?
Yes.
Yo, look. Let me break it down, Leo. Let me break it down. Nobody say nothing. Nobody say nothing. Mute your mics. All right. This is why it's not a super title. Even super titles have mandatories. Teofimo has no mandatories with the WBC. Right now, there are orders that have come down for WBA super champions to satisfy mandatories. Tio is not a super champion with the WBC because there is no super title with the WBC. There's a franchise title, but franchise has no mandatories. And if Tio moves up, let's say, he beats Cambosos, he goes up to 140. That title he has doesn't go vacant. It stays with him up to 140. And he could use that title to push a fight with Josh Taylor, which is why I think he's full of shit, by the way. If you really want Josh, you could do that. Because that's part of being a franchise champion. You could be
It's like the Emirates. It's like the Emirates status, right? It's similar to that.
Can you hear me talking?
Yeah, actually, it is, Chris. It is.
Yo, Julius, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I have to say this. This is why I saw Teofimo Lopez post IG story showing all his titles.
Yeah.
Right. It was a franchise WBC title, and it was another title, a WBC title, a super title. That is why I think it's more complicated.
Okay.
Because the WBC made it more complicated, giving two titles to Teofimo Lopez.
Okay. Listen. Can I talk? Can you hear me? Okay, good. So check this out. Let me make this real simple so you can understand it. Let's say Julius has the WBC franchise and the WBA super, right? If I beat Julius, I only get the super title from the WBA. I do not get the WBC franchise.
Yeah.
The only reason why Tio got the franchise from Lomachenko is because he wrote a letter petitioning to get the belt. Now, there is no title in boxing that you have to petition to get. The way that you win it is you beat the champion, it becomes yours. If you have to petition for it, it's no longer legitimate.
Y Leo, la diferencia es, look, let's say you a WBA super champion at 35, right? And then you move up to 40. You vacate your title. It's there for other people to win it. That is not the case with Teofimo's WBC title. If he moves up to 40, it goes with him. These other guys can't win it. It goes with him. And he can use that status. Hold on. He can use that status to become Josh Taylor's mandatory. Now, that's not a real title, bro. You don't have...
Yeah, I understand that. I really understand that. The WBC super title is not a real title, but he has it. That is what makes things complicated for the rest of the people watching.
There is a super title.
It's not. I mean, I don't call it a super title because that's not what they call it. They call it a franchise.
I just learned about it just now. You telling me there's now so now there's a franchise title and now there's a super title
for Teofimo Lopez only.
No,
he has that.
I have to check that.
No, it's two different sanctioning bodies. There are super titles in the WBA, not the WBC. The WBC has a franchise belt, which is
They have a super title that Tio has. He showed it on camera. It says super
No, he did not show a super title on camera. He had a WBC franchise title. Then he had some documents saying that the other belt was the normal WBC title. However, it was not because that's around Devin Haney's belt. His waist. So I don't know what the second belt was that he said was the real WBC title because it's not. Devin Haney has the real title.
Look, it's simple. Look. They made Canelo Alvarez the inaugural franchise champion, right? But do you hear these arguments in association with Canelo? No. Why is that? No. Because Canelo went for the real one. Canelo knows. I didn't have the real one. I had to get the real one. The real one was the one that was vacant, not the franchise shit. The franchise shit, you can't be undisputed with a franchise title because the other organizations, they don't recognize it. If I go to the IBF to see who do they recognize, if I go to the IBF and I to see who do they recognize as the WBC champion, it's not Teofimo. It's fucking Devin Haney's name there. The same with the WBO and the same with the WBA. I don't see Teofimo's name there. I see Devin's. And unless all 4 sanctioning bodies are in agreement, you're not undisputed.
Yeah.
It's always been that way. Well,
yep. I'm not discussing that. I'm just addressing la putería que tiene the WBC in its organization, because you made a title from nowhere that is not recognized for the ocean sanctioning bodies.
Bueno, Leo, tú me conoces, tú sabes que I was never on board with, even con Canelo, ¿verdad? La única razón que yo no le doy Canelo shit, the only reason I'll give Canelo shit, why? Because he went for the real title. That's why. He's not sitting here telling me that I'm undisputed because of the no, you're not undisputed. You couldn't have won something from Loma that he surrendered to someone else. And he surrendered it. Whether it was through Bob or Aegis Climas, it all means the same thing. The world title went to him and you got the French fries. And the French fries have no lineage. It's not a real title. Doesn't have mandatories. It's made up completely. All right? That's what it is. And I'm not going to qualify
special attributes.
Dilo otra vez.
It's Bob's fault. It's fucking Bob Adams' fault.
It's made of special attributes.
Special attributes. Like, nah, I
But I
heard
can
that.
collect more sanctioning fees.
Basically, because when they asked Mauricio, yo, do people, and they asked him, I think it was Nesta Gibbs, shout out to Nesta Gibbs of the Boxing Voice. I believe it was Nesta that asked him, yo, do you get sanctioning fees for the franchise? And Mauricio didn't want to say nothing. He didn't want to answer, like, okay.
It's a racket, man. That's always been the racket, man.
Racket, bro.
It's like,
racket.
bro, the belts, the sanctioning body and their belts are pretty much relative to like the I would say the Federal Reserve System of lending out money out of thin air.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is.
That's a fact.
That's basically
really
they're just basically special notes with interest attached to it, called sanctioning fees.
Franchise, look, we know what undisputed is, and we also know that there's a reason you don't need the IBO, for example, to be undisputed. Why do you not need the IBO or the WBF or the UBO? Why do you not need the outlying belts? Why do you not need the WIBA or whatever the fuck it is, right? Why do you not need?
Because they don't recognize it. They don't recognize them.
And if the IBF doesn't recognize you as the WBC champion, you're not undisputed. He's the WBC champion. You have to fight him. You have to get what he has. You never got it. You cannot win something from Loma that he didn't have.
The IBO belt is like a whore. It's just like it throws himself into any.
Bro, I got an IBO downstairs in the car. I got an IBO title. They just sent me that shit. I got one of them shits. Fuck out of here.
Since when Julius been washing niggas like that? Let me find out, Julius.
You see what I did to that pizza? You see what I did to that pizza, right? I got an IBO for that.
I see.
You know how they have, like, you know how they have the presidents of like the governing bodies, in the ring when they're being announced. The IBO president got to wait outside the building, basically.
Bro, he got to
bro, you're not getting in on action.
He got to pay for a ticket. He got to pay for a ticket just like everybody else. Listen, this is what I'm gonna say.
Exactly.
Being undisputed requires the cooperation of all the aforementioned alphabets. And if they don't recognize you as WBC champion, then you're not undisputed. It's not complicated. The only people that make it complicated is the guys who all of a sudden wanted to qualify franchise because Lopez has it. Bro, I didn't qualify it when Canelo has it, much less when Lopez has it or Estrada. Franchise is not a real belt. It's a designation. That's all it is. It has no lineage. No history.
The WBC even said this shit too, and these niggas are still doing all this. Niggas get on my damn nerves. Theo, you better just handle business. Fight Devin Haney. Potentially get that ass whooped. And if you beat Devin Haney, you undisputed. Because I ain't gonna hold you. I got Devin Haney beating. I got Haney beating him though.
I ain't I ain't even gonna make a prediction because it's not necessary to me.
Because Cambosa's gonna win.
Nah. Yeah, well for that. But look. I don't know. Honest to God, maybe Haney wins. Maybe Lopez wins. I'm a boxing fan. I just want to see the boxing match. That's all. I don't care which one of them wins, but y'all need to fight because you not undisputed, bro. I don't care what they say somewhere. You not undisputed. If you were, we wouldn't be arguing about this. We don't argue about Josh Taylor, right? Because we all know he's undisputed. And that's it. We don't argue about it.
Hold on, Julius. I'll have you know, Tank Davis is a real champion at 140.
Fuck out
Yo,
of here.
stop it now.
Yeah,
Fuck
for real.
out of here. Fuck you, Lee. Fuck out of here, nigga.
Fuck out of here, bitch. But that's the point, that we didn't argue when Crawford was undisputed. We don't argue when Usyk was undisputed or when motherfucking Josh Taylor did it, because there were no franchise champions in that division at the time. You know what I mean? We don't argue about it. But we argue about you because if I go to the WBA right now to see who do they recognize as a WBC champion, it don't say Teofimo Lopez. It doesn't. And when I look at your fight that you got coming up with George Kambosos, I defy any of you, go to BoxRec right now and tell me if the WBC title is on the line. Just do it. Go look at it.
It's not there,
is it? It's not there, is it? So what are we doing? What are we doing? The dude's not undisputed. It's not complicated. It's not undisputed. And it's all right. It's not. I've always maintained none of this is his fault. But stop trying to sell me a dream just because you like him. Like, yeah, he's a cool kid. He's doing his thing. He's funny and all that cool shit. But, yo, he's not undisputed. I'm sorry.
And George Kambosos gonna
unified,
sleep
though.
his shit and won. George Kambosos would won. You heard?
Bro, if he knock his ass out in one round, my God, I'm gonna fucking laugh so hard, bro.
You might shit yourself for 5 days.
Bro, I might go live for 24 hours laughing at that shit. I might go live for 24 hours. Like, see, that's what the fuck you get being greedy. That's what the fuck you get.
I think George Kambosos want to kill him though, because he's been. It seems like he's really been training. He really like, yo, I'm gonna beat the dog shit out this young nigga.
He's gonna get fucked up.
Let me read the super chat.
You're training out to smooth jazz. Like, get out of here. That ain't happening.
Let me read the super chat. Napoli says, when will the Association of Boxing Commissions force the WBC to quote unquote wise up like they forced the WBA? And the WBC doesn't have the heat on their back. You have to remember when it was they made that decision after the Gloria Martinez Rizzo shit with Mikhail Fox, and they was under investigation for corruption. That's when they did that. Now the WBC.
You see what racism do? You see what racism do?
I'm telling that, but that's how they got that. That's how they got that shit on their back. That's how they got that negative attention because of that. If it wasn't for that, I don't think the ABC commission would have bothered them. They would have let them keep making belts. But it's like, look,
nah, he called him nigger. He called him nigger. No, we got to make sure we got to get the fuck out of here.
See,
now.
the WBC was proactive. They made the Black Lives Matter belt, so they they're watching this racism thing.
There we go, pandering, baby, pandering. We like that. We like that.
But that's real shit. They really did make a Black Lives Matter belt, though. They did. It was last year when they made the shit. So it's like, look, the WBC, Mauricio, for all his faults, that motherfucker know how to play ball. Like, he friends with everybody. He everywhere. He in Russia. He in South America. He here in the States, and he don't be in no shit. I myself was wondering why the ABC ain't pressed them the way they press the WBA, and it's like, yo, he in with the right people, man. He in with the right people.
And they don't really.
Or Mauricio got some shit on the ABC that niggas don't want out.
Could be that too.
Maybe.
Could be that too. But
y'all talk about how Errol tagged the WBA president, but not Paco for unification.
Because he don't want no problems, bro. Like, look, I don't like talk. I don't. Fool. Yeah, like you know, they already ordered Ugas to do what he got to do. It is what it is, right? But why you not saying let me fight Crawford? Let me fight the winner of Crawford Porter. Feel me? Like, why you not saying that? You not saying
know better.
That.
He know better. He know better. Stop playing with him.
Everyone's giving Triple G shit for fighting Murata. They're saying, oh, he's fighting the weakest champion. Well, Errol's on camera saying that's exactly what he's gonna do before he faces Crawford, and it's been years.
Bro, that look, that entire fact.
Bro, he was on camera. He basically called himself the Black Triple G. After he beat Porter.
Nah, he's worse than Triple G because it's been
Porter,
years.
Kell Brook, you know.
And at least Triple G is not kissing up on rappers, so I gotta respect him for that.
Yo, look, man, Eru, I don't want to get into Eru's his extra, like he's a weird, like
Man, Chichiman.
I ain't even going. I don't want to do that. You see, wait, before y'all do that, man, you see what they doing to Dave, right? Chill. I don't want no problems, B. I don't want no problems with none of them communities, B. You see what they doing to Dave Chappelle? I don't want no problems.
Nah, dude's here from New York. No, you built like that. I want to hear that. I don't hear that. I don't hear that. Come out of your mouth. Netflix didn't take the special down, so you stand on what you stand on. All right? They take the special down.
Listen, all I'm saying, Eru the type of cat that he want to take his shirt off in the club, all sweaty, dancing with the guys, B. And he legitimately did that, B.
Awesome.
Like
what?
Yes.
What? Die. He didn't do that. He could.
It's pictures, bro. It's pictures.
Die. Send the link. Again, DM me that link so I can dead ass flame this dude.
It's pictures.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. When they
he's really on it like that? That's crazy.
I mean,
on the post fight of the Garcia fight, he's talking about that Brokeback Life shit that you want to raise, horses and chickens, you want to live on the sticks.
But not even cat.
That Brokeback Life is sick as hell.
No cat. I just want y'all to do this, B. This is top secret CIA shit. Just look at the cat, and you can see that shit. Look at the cat. You can see it. Like I see it. Like I dig it. That's him, B. Like what? Look. You go
Kell
to the
Brook
club.
Too.
You go to the club. Yeah, Kell is
shit stabbed up in a gay club.
They don't idolize Kell. Yeah, B. Like you ain't.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. That was it. Spade.
Con didn't want to fight him because he's gay.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what
that is crazy.
That's at least I heard that shit. Look, the point is, right? All that fuckery aside, right? At no point did you see Errol tag Paco and tell him, yo, let me fight Crawford or the winner of Crawford Porter. You didn't see him. You doing all this for Ugas, B? Why? Because Ugas is a bigger fight? Stop it, my guy. Like, we already know what type of shit you on. We know what type of shit
you've been on some suckish shit since 2018, bro. Ever since he brought up that fucking two sides of the, other side of the street bullshit. That's what he brought to the
anybody but
Bud fighting Crawford. That shit's crazy how people try to blame him.
Okay, once Errol Spence touched Crawford's body, and realized, this dude is always training. I said, nah, B, he gonna beat me up. I don't need that in my life.
Errol is part of the ABC commission. The A in ABC stands for anybody but Crawford. That's what he a part of, the ABC commission. You want?
That's crazy. Sean Porter forever gonna have to deal with a dude who got stabbed up in a gay bar, beating him up for what?
Yeah,
it's a horrible world we live in, don't we? It's a nasty world.
I ain't gonna get into that. I don't want them people bothering me. All I'm saying is that Errol don't want it, and it's time that people see that. They're like, bro, it's been 3, maybe 4 years since this became a topic. And you got an interest in fighting Ugas. You had an interest in fighting Manny and Mikey and fucking Sean and Danny.
You had an interest in fighting the pavement.
Word, right? You want to fight everybody but
Crawford. And then after Crawford's fights, all you hear is, I want Spence.
You want to ride
horses. I want to go ride horses and get some chickens.
You want to ride horses and raise chickens and fight Danny and fucking Manny, everybody but Crawford, bro.
You want to fight getting ejected out of your car?
Well, you want to fight for your life at the hospital. You want to fight to keep your retina.
You want to fight parking tickets. Yeah.
You want to fight parking tickets.
You want to fight
Yo, he willing to fight. That man is willing.
Yo, he said he'll go get his ass beat at 160 instead of fighting Crawford.
Yo, read that super chat, B. Read that super chat.
Yo,
people.
Jen.
Yo, we need to repair for our
Comment
sins.
of the
Holy
year.
shit.
Yo,
Oh, God.
That
Yo,
dude want to fight
Jeremy, let me buy you a
everybody.
beer, man. Fuck that.
That dude want to fight everybody.
Eyes
but
down, eyes
Crawford.
down. That's crazy.
Bro.
Oh, man.
That's why it's like,
That's
why,
foul.
if you notice, right, when I do an
Oh,
episode
my
of the
God.
relay, I don't even talk about that because it's like, bro, it's obvious this cat don't want it. Like, he don't want it. Why would we talk about it?
Yo, but that ass, it's like when he had that retina injury, right? I'm like, is this residue from the car crash? Like, if you snuff this guy with the fucking index finger and the middle finger, his nose might fall off. Like, what the hell?
Listen, I believe
He's
that
fragile.
Bro, he smacked his head like 3 times.
Yo,
on
you
the
ever see
ground. No bullshit.
you ever
He
see those
had
Michael
headgear
Jackson meme
on.
scenes when his fucking nose be falling apart and his eyes come out and shit?
Bro, the
It's about to be
dude,
arrow.
how you get a detached retina? Think about this. Don't laugh. Just think about it. How do you get a detached retina with headgear on? So what happens if you take it off?
Nah, he was really fucked up off that car accident. He should have never fought. He should have never fought Danny Garcia. He should have bro. It should have been 2 years.
I had 100
It
on
should have been
Pacquiao by stoppage. I would have made so much bread. Fuck.
Let me read the super chat. Jaime Nieto, shout out to Jaime Nieto. He says, I've been saying for years, Errol don't want the Bud fight. People need to stop being fooled and start calling him out. Now, I'm going to say this, Jaime. I don't call him out because what's the point? You don't want to fight that. It's all right, B. It's all right. Somebody going to get you. That's the truth. Somebody going to get you because the reality isn't. And I said it after the accident. Yo, you don't just get tossed out of car, bro. Like, you don't just.
You know who's going to get him? You know who's going to get him, Julius?
Who?
Jeremy H.M.
Probably. Odds down.
You don't tweet that. You don't tweet that.
Yo, put that on. This one, yo, put that comment back on, please. Oh, you foul. Why he touch his eye like that? You are foul.
Odds down, B.
Julius,
you heard?
Remember that? Remember when Terence Crawford said, "I passed the Errol Spence fight. I don't want it anymore." Yeah, you remember?
Yeah.
How much time it passed till Errol Spence says, "Oh, I want the Terence Crawford fight now"?
The only way Errol will come around to wanting that fight is if Crawford looks terrible against Sean. That is the only way.
No. I ask you, but say I passed the Errol Spence fight. I remember maybe a week after that, Errol Spence says, "Oh, I'm gonna talk about Aaron to speak with him and say maybe we can do that fight." Maybe a week before that. Look. That's a bitch ass move.
Yeah, but he's only look at the pattern because most people don't notice the pattern. When Crawford says, that's when Errol act interested. Then if Crawford start acting interested, Errol get amnesia. Like, oh, I don't know what he doing in my fight. So that a few months later, you'll say, oh, I'm going to go to Top Rank and see what
that was super
about.
bitch, bro. Like, when I saw that, like, at that first conference, I wanted to throw a brick at that nigga. I wanted to end it for him. I wanted to end it for him, dog.
Like, I never seen no shit like that. Like, bro, you don't know why he at your fight? You don't know? He here to root for Danny, bro. That's why he here. To root for Danny.
Like, he's in the same occupation in the same weight as you. Like, really, you don't know? Yeah. I really wanted someone to throw a brick at him. Like, yo, bro, hold this, bow.
and look, and for
real, why did Clubber Lang showed up at Rocky Balboa's fights? You know,
it's
be his fan.
What killed me is not that he doing it. That's not what killed me because, like, I've been saying he don't want that fight. That's not news to me. What kills me is how you really got people that'll sit there and defend him for this dumbass shit. Like, bro, he never wanted to fight. What are you not understanding? That's
and put him and they put him in the fucking pound for pound list with this bullshit he be bullying. like come on, my niggas. Like, what is wrong with you niggas?
What about his career? Pound for pound.
That Mickey Garcia was a big win. Let's be real. Mickey Garcia, the pound for pound.
everybody knew Mikey Garcia was going to get that ass whipped by Errol Spence. Like, you remember when Mikey was.
He outboxed him. He outboxed him.
I gotta read this super chat. Shout out to Boxing Gems, who tells me I'm paying you $20 right now to never have email on again. Love the channel otherwise. He talking about the cat I had on earlier that sounded like he was drunk way earlier in the beginning of the show. Yeah, I'll honor that request. But look, man, Crawford versus Porter. I'm not, because boxing is erratic and bipolar. You can never really say never. You know, you can't, like, until it's over. You really can't say never. But I'll say that I'm not checking for that fight, bro. Like, bro, your man been acting like that for 4 years now, bro. 4. And you damaged goods now. To me, look, before the car accident, I already thought he was gonna fuck you up. Now it's even worse. Like, now I probably don't want to see him fuck you up because you damaged goods, bro.
I think he was damaged goods prior to the car accident, because Nate Jones used to be in the Mayweather gym, and he said, "Yo, they say Earl drink like a sailor," so they knew that Earl wasn't disciplined, and they knew that it was gonna come a point in time that Earl was gonna break down. And it's sad, bro, because to be quite honest with you, out of everybody from the 2012 Olympic team, I thought Earl was going to be the one that was going to hold the standard, bro. And it was sad to see him, bro. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, him and Broner, there's not too much in it. He just doesn't go to jail because, like, bro, it's sad to see this dude. Like, what happened to you, bro?
Look. Heyman is good at one thing and one thing only. He is good at getting networks to give him a budget. But outside of that, you had Thurman, who was promising. You had Errol, who was promising. Davis was promising. Yes, he was. After that Pedraza fight, I say it all the time, I thought the world was going to be his oyster, right? You actually had guys that you could really, that they could be like the Leonard of their generation and all that shit. It ain't that you didn't have guys. Now you had guys. You don't know what to do with them. You can't keep them in line. You can't.
They were all Golden Boy.
They're all too dysfunctional.
Yeah, Broner. You left out Broner.
Idle hands do the devil's work. And what do you associate with the PBC? Inactivity.
Nah, man.
But you also have to understand this.
I will say this before I go. PBC got the greatest fighter that's ever fought. This man goes out there. He is so tough. It could be 100 degrees outside. He gonna wear a fur coat. 100 degrees ain't nothing to this man. We got Rolly on deck, man. He gonna hold it down. Rolly's gonna fight Tyson Fury before his career is over.
God. Let me tell you this.
Yo, you gotta go home, bro. You gotta go home, my nigga.
I'm gonna tell you what though. I would bank on Rolly knocking out Tank before I bank on George knocking out Teofimo.
I agree with that.
Because Rolly,
I ain't gonna hold you. I was looking at that fight and I was thinking about it. Like, yeah, Rolly's strong. Rolly hit hard, and Rolly's awkward. Like, let's keep it a buck.
Rolly not
I got Rolly getting laid out.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this with all honesty. As bad as I saw Tank getting beat up by Barrios, who started at 122 pounds, I'm not convinced that Tank can beat Rolly. Rolly might catch his ass and drop him.
Look, I got to tell you what Ronnie told me. And Ronnie, Ronnie, shout out to Ronnie. Ronnie kind of opened my brain to this. They're like, motherfucking Rolly don't got no illusions. He not going to go in there jabbing with you and fainting and all that bullshit. And Tank, if you've been watching him, he getting hit more and more. He got touched up by Leo. Then he got touched up by Barrios. He needed 12 motherfucking rounds to knock out Gamboa on one leg. Now, Rolly, he ain't all that, but he young, fresh, and fly, and ready to die. And he hit hard. If he don't, if that's what he got power.
But the thing is with Rolly, he could be reckless. And if he walk into some shit,
oh no, man,
he could really go. It could be
Rolly.
I dig all of that, but what are we gauging Tank's power on? What he did to a featherweight in Leo, or what he did to a no-name brand guy in Barrios? Who is he really hurting with this power?
People are underestimating how slow Rolly is in the head. Like, slow people are very strong. So, he got that special type of strength that I don't want to say.
because it ain't you don't want to get hit with that. Because let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck, bro. Like Anthony Yigit got beat up by Ivan Baranchik bad. But what Rolly did to dude, Rolly really got him the fuck up out of there. And he was 5 pounds above Rolly. And that was a punctual weight disadvantage prior to rehydration. So, yeah. I was thinking about it, though. Rolly can punch me.
I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot that Anthony Yigit didn't make the weight. He came into the ring at the weigh-in he was 140 at the shit. He was 140, and Rolly still rollied him. He still rolled on him. He rollied him. He might roll on Tank. Because everything we say, it's like the shit that I said in the last video I did. Right, when people talk about Tyson Fury, that he this and he that, they not thinking about the Klitschko fight. They thinking about the Wilder fight.
Wilder, yeah.
They thinking about that, and it's like, well, how could you gauge how great a boxer he is when you doing that off a dude that can't box? So when you think about Tank, wait a minute, your power. What about your power? Who you beat with that power though? Who? Leo? It's a fucking featherweight. He can't even punch. Who? Barrios? Barrios was.
I forgot Barrios started his career at 122. I forgot about that.
He could have started that shit at 54, bro. That dude is a nobody. What I know is the Gamboa that a journeyman in Castellanos needed 7 rounds with Gamboa. That was it. Bud took him out before that when Gamboa was undefeated. You get him years later, he got 1 leg, and you need 12? What? I don't know if your power even is what they say it is, bro. You first clean shot, that should have did it. The first clean one. If you what they say you are.
And we know Gamboa can't.
Imagine if Kell Brock would have won 12 rounds with Gennady Golovkin. Imagine what people would say. Imagine if motherfucking Amir Khan that been knocked out by everybody, because that's a better parallel. You know Khan's chin is shaky. Canelo stopped his ass like he supposed to. Davis, you in there with a guy that has been knocked down a sum total of 14 times going into this fight. And he been knocked
can't
out.
hold water.
Can't hold water. You needed 12, and he got 1 leg. He got a torn Achilles tendon in the fight. And you needed 12 rounds to finally get him down? I don't know if your power is what they say it is. I'm sorry. And sleeping Leo, what the fuck does that mean? Leo is a fucking featherweight at best.
And he deserved it for all the years that Leo ducked Gary Russell and Guillermo Regadan. I can hold you. I was happy that he got laid out that way. But what you're saying is that fact.
Now let me read the super chat. Let me read the super chat. Spence don't know why Crawford was at his fight. Thurman never heard or owned a pair of boots. Yeah, that was if that wasn't a bitch ass shit. Boxing is like Harlem. It's a small world. Everybody knows everybody. And Keith Thurman expects me and you and this whole panel to believe that he never heard of Jaron Ennis. Who is that? Like, really, bro? That tell me.
Random question, man. Random question, bro. Out of the boroughs, out of New York, who's the most grimiest niggas? I got Harlem and Queens at 1 and 2.
Grimiest is the Bronx.
Nah, Harlem niggas is foul, bro.
Nah,
Alpo, bro. Y'all some real foul niggas.
Wait. You see what they did to that kid in the Bronx? They dragged him out the store.
You're right.
Put a machete in his neck, B.
Yeah, but they're straight from the banana bowl, bro.
Preacher.
There was some pretty motherfuckers that were from straight out the banana boat that did that shit, man. There wasn't no fucking original Bronx, man.
I'm just telling you. Listen, that didn't happen in Manhattan. That's all I'm saying. It didn't happen. I know, in man.
A lot of fucked up shit happened in the Bronx, man.
Listen, man.
I'm not.
Harlem niggas is foul, bro.
Nah, we
Harlem niggas
some of the
worst of the worst, nigga.
We foul.
They're classy, but they foul.
Wait. We classy and foul in the Bronx.
Y'all grimy.
It's grimy out there, B. It's well out there. They drag you out the bodega, put a machete through your neck over some case of missing identity. Mistaken
and
identity.
Mind you, that bitch was lying on that dude too. That bitch lied on Junior.
and he's still
And nothing
dead.
happened to her, bro. Nothing happened to her.
Dead, bro. He's still dead.
but-
That's the wild
I
part.
feel
That's
you.
the grimy
I feel
part.
I feel you, but Alpo, foul nigga, B. Like, I'm
Bruh,
telling you.
I ain't even telling you that he not foul, but there's a difference between that and you dragged him out the bodega. Look, the Bronx so grimy, the people in the bodega even come outside like, nah, y'all can have him, B. We don't want that shit in our store. We
do not want that.
You gonna fix these chips and
that
level
is
this
true.
out.
That
That's
is true. But think
grime,
about
B.
it, think about a killer season. Yo, somebody allowed Cameron to spit on that little girl, bro. Someone's mother.
I forgot about that. Yo, I forgot about that scene, B. I seen that scene before I even seen the movie. The whole they really let Cam spit on a child for the movie.
Yo, dude, shit.
Get out of here, B.
Somebody mother, B. Like, yo, bro, bro, that's mad traumatic, but because, yo, bro, that was real. You couldn't, because it couldn't be prop because it was so low budget, bro. Like, it had to be real. He really spit on her.
You could go
Somebody
to Taft,
mama allowed this.
You could go to Taft, Wagner, Forster, anywhere. Tell somebody, yo, I'll give you $500 right now to let me spit on your daughter. I bet you you'll find somebody. You'll find somebody.
I'm telling you, Harlem niggas is foul, B. Harlem niggas is the worst.
Now I'm gonna read this last super chat and wrap it up. Josh will KO Mikey. B Bud's hardest fight. EJ is done. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. See you on the next live.
Okay.
Peace. Nas is the best.